siento fatal, no me fui a la casa.
Did you see that thing that they sent us about the?
Oh, yes, that was
I don't know. I'm gonna ask after we're done.
like that open. Pues, I haven't used that to anybody.
Because you meet here, so it's on makes you wonder about bringing it into meetings, right?
Good afternoon, everyone. We'll go ahead and get started. This is a city council regular meeting. Today is Tuesday, October 3rd, 2023. It is 5:30 p.m. and we are here at the council chambers for the City Hall Building, 100 South Monroe Street, Eagle Pass, Maverick County, Texas. As always, we start with the establishment of quorum. We do have a full quorum today with all members present. Moment of reverence. Here at the City Council, we always like to pay respects to our military, people serving here in the U.S. and abroad. So if we could please take a moment of silence in their honor, we'd appreciate it. Thank you very much. Citizens, communications, and recognitions. I'd like to start off by recognizing some special groups, and I'd like to invite First Council. If you could join me here in the front, please. Today we will be issuing two very special proclamations here in the community. The first one is for Manufacturing Month, and we have a company that's been in Eagle Pass for many years, employed many people here in Eagle Pass. So at this time, I would like to invite our friends from Microstar, if you could please join us. Make yourself at home.
You'll never get rid of it.
So, joining us today from Microstar are Mr. Glenn Opp, who is the Chief Operations Officer. We also have Matt Trim, Vice President of Global Plant Operations. We have Mr. Oscar Gonzalez, Plant Manager. Alejandro Castillo, as Quality and Customer Service Manager. Now, if we could give him one more. Today we're celebrating Manufacturing Month here in Eagle Pass and actually all over the United States. This company, Microstar, has been a key company that's been helping Eagle Pass and Maverick County for many years. What is it, 5 years now, I believe?
Yes.
So Microstar is a company that employs a lot of people here in the community. I believe 145 people approximately work at Microstar. So we're very grateful for the service that they bring, for the people they employ, and for everything that they do to give back to Eagle Pass. So for us, on behalf of council, it's really an honor to be here. Welcome to Eagle Pass, all the way from Colorado. And with that said, I would like to present this proclamation, and it reads as follows. Whereas manufacturing is a cornerstone of the nation's and Texas's economy, and whereas in 2021, the U.S. manufacturing sector contributed $2.56 trillion to the U.S. economy, accounting for approximately 11% of the nation's total GDP, gross domestic product. And whereas as of August 2022, the manufacturing sector employs nearly 13 million American workers. And whereas locally, manufacturing entity Microstar Logistics, who has been manufacturing for 5 years and provides jobs to 145 employees, have been a manufacturing mainstay in our community. And whereas the City of Eagle Pass, along with the City of Eagle Pass's Economic Development Department, support manufacturing and manufacturing careers, and take this opportunity to celebrate Manufacturing Month and the importance of U.S. manufacturing innovation and ingenuity to our standard of living. Now therefore I, Rolando Salinas, Mayor for the City of Eagle Pass, do hereby proclaim the month of October as Manufacturing Month in the City of Eagle Pass, and I encourage all my fellow citizens to join me in observing this occasion and taking time to recognize and acknowledge the impact and benefits of manufacturing sector and the contributions they make to our community, state, and nation every day. In witness hereof, I do hereby sign the seal of the City of Eagle Pass this 3rd day of October, 2023. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I always kind of like to put people on the spot.
Well, not putting me on the spot, I'd just like to say a few words. We are
Please.
ecstatic about being here in Eagle Pass for the last 5 years, and I will tell you, it's, and the others know this, I was recently at a council meeting doing the same thing in Tucson. We're opening up a plant in Tucson. At the same time, I will tell you, Eagle Pass is such a vital part of what we do. We are currently doubling the size of the operations in Eagle Pass as we speak. So very proud of that. Thank you so much. We love the community and want to make sure that as a part of the community, want to be able to give back because we are part of the fabric. We have been blessed with the people here in Eagle Pass that have supported us in our operations, and we know many of you out there, and so we want to continue that. And thank you so much from everyone here. And also, I'm so happy, I would just say one thing, all of us are so happy that you include the military when we talk about the military. And I would also say about our law enforcement. We appreciate, and I don't think they get enough appreciation from us. So thank you so much. We're appreciative of that.
Thank you, sir. We would like to take a photograph. Maybe our economic development team, you want to join us? Let's see if we can.
Oh, you're gonna do it after the picture? We'll take it after the picture.
Thank you.
No, not for you. Thank you for your continued investment and belief in
Of
our.
course. Thank you again so much. We appreciate it.
And on a separate note, I'm also with the school district, so thank you for, I know we're bringing our manufacturing students. to
Yes.
support and thank you for welcoming our students as well. Sounds good. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you all. We have another proclamation that we'd like to present. Can you join us? Yes. Ma'am, how are you?
Hi,
Thank
nice
you
to meet you.
for-
Love you. Hi, nice to meet you. Hi, nice to meet you. Love me. Sir? Mayor?
This is my director. This is my director and my supervisor.
Well, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and this organization is crucial to helping people in Eagle Pass and Maverick County. So every year, we like to make sure we do everything possible to bring awareness to this issue that impacts a lot of people in the community. I want to start off by presenting and reading this proclamation, which reads as follows. Whereas 1 in every 4 women will experience domestic violence during her lifetime, and approximately 15.5 million children are exposed to domestic violence every year. When a family member is abused, it can have long-term damaging effects on the victim that also leave a mark on the family, friends, and the community at large. And whereas violence against women and children is a prevalent social ill due to the historical imbalance of power in gender, age, and immigration status. And whereas domestic violence is not confined to any group or groups of people, but crosses all economic, racial, gender, educational, religious, and societal barriers and is sustained by societal indifference. And whereas victims should have the help to find the compassion, comfort, and the healing they need, and domestic abusers should be punished to the full extent of the law. And it is important to recognize the compassion and dedication of the individuals who provide services to victims of domestic violence and work to increase public understanding of this significant problem. And whereas local programs, state coalitions, local law enforcement, other social service agencies, and community volunteers are committed to increasing public awareness of domestic violence and its prevalence, and to eliminating it through prevention and education. And whereas important partnerships have been formed among criminal and juvenile justice agencies, healthcare providers, allied professionals, and victim services to assist victims of domestic violence and their families. And whereas the United States President and Congress, as well as other federal agencies, have expressed a commitment to eliminating domestic violence, both nationally and internationally, via legislation such as VOCA and VAWA. And our nation must dedicate ourselves to protecting vulnerable members of our society and has a moral obligation to work and prevent domestic violence and address its brutal and destructive effects. And must be ending domestic violence is a national priority. Now therefore, I, Rolando Salinas, Mayor of the City of Eagle Pass, do hereby proclaim the month of October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in the City of Eagle Pass, and I urge all citizens to actively participate in the efforts to identify and combat domestic violence and support these efforts by wearing purple for the remainder of the month of October in support of domestic violence awareness. In witness hereof, I hereunto set my hand, the seal of the City of Eagle Pass, this 3rd day of October, 2023. Well, this is a big problem in the community, and whenever we do this, we don't just want to present a proclamation, because it's hard, right? But first, let me start off by saying, if you want to say some words?
Sure. Mayor, council, members of the council, thank you so much for your continued support to the Winter Garden Women's Shelter. We are very grateful for your support, for any support that we can get from the community. We do continue to provide services here in Maverick County, I'm sorry. And our goal is to continue to expand the services that we have to offer to these victims. We currently went from having a 1-staff office here to 3, so now we have 3 here, and then we have a long-term goal of opening up a shelter, an emergency shelter here in Eagle Pass for all the residents of Maverick County. So again, that is a long-term goal. We realize that we have the majority of victims in Maverick County because it's the largest county that we serve, and those services are very much needed because we do serve many. I don't have the number of victims right now on the top of my head. I don't know, Carolina, do you have the number of victims that you?
Yes.
120 on an average, and those are just the victims that come forward and seek services and seek help. But there are so many cases that are unreported, and a lot of people that are victims that do not reach out. So we want to continue to provide awareness, do outreach, so that victims know that we're here. We're in the process of also implementing a to them to provide the services instead of them having to come to us. So that's gonna be in the next couple of months that we implement our mobile advocacy team as well.
I know that the city is committed to reducing the number of domestic violence that happens here in our community. Our law enforcement, our chief, they're always out there making sure that people face the punishments. I think that's key, but it should not be tolerated, and our prosecutors are also doing a good job at prosecuting the cases. This is something that we've also discussed with council as to what we can do to bring more funding, because I know that this is something that needs funding,
Yes.
and it's a priority for city council.
Thank you, we appreciate it.
Anyone in council that want to say something?
I just want to say that this is something, it's an issue that's near and dear to my heart. I'm sure you have our full support, our full commitment. It's important to continue to bring awareness about every single facet, not just the services, but talking about it, the services for victims, services for aggressors, services, within, even within our law enforcement agencies, and how we collect data, how we go about taking a report, how we interview people. And so I understand that there's so many different moving parts to this. And so I just want to let you know that on behalf of all of the council, I do plan on making a concerted effort in that direction. And we know that it's a community level effort. So thank you for everything you do.
I have respect for you because I know it's not easy, and you probably take it home as well, and you suffer with them, so, with all the victims, so, leaving it with them, I bet it's not easy, so, thank you.
Yes.
Now, just to say real quickly, I mean, we don't condone the behavior of the violence of the aggressor, but we do thank you for offering the hope that you give to each of the families, because as they're affected, it's not something that they can easily disconnect from. And it's just like how Councilwoman Cruz mentioned, I mean, it's something you probably take home with you, but for them to actually live it, I mean, to be able to be there and to advocate for them, it's priceless for them. So thank you on behalf of the families that you serve, because I know it's not easy what you do, but we don't take it lightly either, and we do stand committed to support you in the best way that we can.
Thank you.
Do we take a picture?
Together,
Together?
together.
Yes.
Close in here. This is about you.
I'm really okay with the
You're like me. That's another.
Always stick out, I'm sorry.
Nice to see you. Very nice to see you.
Nice to see you. We'll see you, Anthony, we'll see you at Title I. I think the middle side, it's in a week or two.
Yes.
We'll see you soon.
We have citizens communication.
Oh, well, yeah,
Yes.
You want to do the recognition? Yes. And then we can just go there. Yes. Yeah, yes. Mr. Jacobs.
We saved our most special recognitions. Can we get Mr. Jacobo Salinas and your family, please? If you could join us.
You're gonna be good. Okay, so everything about better. Enjoy your retirement.
Well, it's always a bittersweet day whenever people retire, because that means that we're losing people that have given so many years of service to the city of Eagle Pass. Today we have Mr. Jacobo Salinas, who has worked for the city of Eagle Pass not approximately 27 years, right, Mr. Salinas? 27 years, that's a long time. That's a lot of years of commitment, of effort, and it doesn't go unnoticed. And I'm sure I speak for everyone in council that we just appreciate that commitment to helping all the constituents here in Eagle Pass and Madera counties. We would like to present this to you, and it reads as follows. Presented to Jacobo Salinas, in appreciation for 27 years of dedicated and valuable service to the city of Eagle Pass. On this day, October 3rd, 2023, and of course, we wish you a well-deserved retirement. Mr. Salinas.
Thank you.
Do you have something?
Yes, well, I'm still mad at you. We're gonna miss you. You know that, it's not easy to see you retire. You've been such a great asset to the city of Eagle Pass. Very knowledgeable, very committed, and, I'm very appreciative to your family, and I think you all know that we love you very much. So now, except to enjoy your children and your beautiful wife, and hopefully you never forget. So. And well, it's just a couple of pictures with your team,
Appreciate it.
and we're very, very proud of you and all your accomplishments.
You know you're always welcome back to the city, Mr. Salinas. Always,
We
always.
always want them back.
Mr. Cuevas?
You have to convince his wife of that.
Yeah.
I'm here on behalf of the chief. They couldn't be here. They had a prior commitments out of town. They sent me over, I'm grateful for the 27 years of service that you provided the city. Not only with Surrey Water Rescue, Confined Rescue, peace officer, helping out the fire marshal's office in the enforcement aspect. And we're also thank family members for, I mean, just all the time that he was spent here at the fire department, not being with it. So with that, I mean, thank you all for the service. Thank you for everything that you've done. And thank you for, well, you actually helped me when I started. He was one of my, we didn't have a deal back then, but he showed me a lot from when I started to where right now that he's retiring. But thank you so much for your answers.
Thank you.
Maybe you can take a picture. Absolutely. You also
He's
get
sending
a
this. Come on.
That's fine.
Vino toda la familia.
All the family.
Well, we can get closer so there can be 2 levels, so that's what we're going with. So we don't cut anybody off.
Yeah, let's move up a little bit. Don't move that.
Ya ves, Calimanes.
Thank you.
Enjoy your retirement.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Citizens Communications. We have Miss America Garcia Gruel. Hello.
My name is America Garcia Graywall, and I grew up here in Eagle Pass. I'm not from Laredo, as I was called last week. I want to reiterate that the situation on our border is not an isolated incident, but a sign of a global phenomenon. Millions of people are on the move around the world, fleeing from violence, poverty, and persecution. We cannot stop this tide of humanity, but we can choose how we respond to it. We can choose, it is a choice, we can choose to respect the dignity and human rights of those who seek asylum in our country. I appreciate the disaster declaration that you issued to help Eagle Pass recover from the financial losses caused by the bridge closures and the extra work of our first responders. However, I urge you, Mayor Salinas, I urge you to reconsider the trespassing affidavit that you signed and that our council, when you renewed the disaster declaration, you endorsed that. This affidavit gives Texas Department of Public Safety and the National Guard the authority to arrest and detain anyone who enters Shelby Park and River, even if they pose no threat or harm. This is a complete and total waste of resources. Instead of focusing on minor offenses, Eagle Pass and DPS, the National Guard should concentrate on preventing and prosecuting serious crimes. Every time I see a trooper in Shelby Park, I have to wonder what crimes are happening elsewhere in the state that are not being caught. I want to also express my concerns about the behavior and attitude of our Maverick County District Attorney, Jaime Iracheta. He has shown disrespect and hostility towards our city officials. There's a news article that I submitted, Mrs. Rodriguez, I submitted a news article with this, if you could see that it's distributed. So he accused property owners of lying and called our former city attorney crazy. He's acted in a manner that's unprofessional and unethical, and we can't tolerate such conduct from our public servants. We deserve better. As I've done before, I ask that you restore the natural beauty and environment of our community. I ask that you remove the containers, concertina wire, and the stored buoys at Shelby Park and return the banks of the Rio Grande to their original state. I also ask that you transform the bulldozed road that runs from Seco Mines down past Heavenly Farms into a bicycle and jogging path that people legal paths to enjoy, complete with fishing stations. This plan has been submitted years ago. It's on the books. We can do it. And finally, I request that you conduct thorough research onto the pros and cons of establishing a shelter here in Eagle Pass. A shelter could also reduce the pressure and burden on our local services and facilities. It would also create opportunities for collaboration and cooperation among different agencies and organizations that work on the border issue. The world is looking at us. We need to see how we're behaving and hold ourselves to a higher standard, not what was documented in the Houston Chronicle this week. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Alejandro Flores. How you doing, Mr. Flores?
Good, how are you all? Hello, good evening, Mayor Salinas and City Council. Thank you all for having me here again. It's good to see you again after last week. And I want to just emphasize what Ms. America Garcia just stated. I also just want to add to that the world is looking at what we're doing. We had the richest man in the world come to our community last Thursday, and to me, it was concerning to see these tweets, to see this live stream, and for me, it was really, it looked like our community was being used to publicize the platform that he's trying to rebrand. It wasn't really a call to action to support our community. It wasn't providing any solutions. He didn't even interview any of the migrants that he talks about at the end of the video. He's commenting on the characters, and he's trying to provide a greater story when it really just seemed like a cheap promotional tactic for his own business. And so I really want to be careful about who it is that we invite into our community, because it seems like everybody is paying attention to what's happening here. And it's for the people outsiders that come in are seeking for their personal benefit as opposed to what's good for the community. So before people come in, I would ask, what are your solutions? Why are you coming in? Even Mr. Gonzalez, the information that he provided wasn't to give any solutions to the situation. He merely stated the issues that we're facing. He could have mentioned that children are drowning in the river the people are drowning in the river behind them in the videos that they recorded. That thousands are dying in these migratory routes north because there are no legal avenues for them to come through the United States and to work jobs that we badly need to fill as our workforce population ages. He could have talked in depth about fixing the asylum backlog or multiple other solutions that he, as a congressional member, should be working on. So I just want to urge all of you to keep focusing on the situation and really be careful about who you let into our community, because it's a situation that is, yeah, who's speaking for us at the national level. So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. At this time, we'll go ahead and move into the consent agenda items, which are items 2 through 9. At this time, I'll ask council if you want to take out any of these items and discuss them individually. If not, can I get a motion to approve items 2 through 9? Motion to approve by Mayor Pro Tem Davis, second by Councilman Garcia. Discussion, all in favor? Unanimous. Item 10, consideration and possible approval of an ordinance amending Section 2-144, Article 4, Division 7, Police Department, Chapter 2, Administration of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Eagle Pass, Texas, by adding 68A inspection fee, finding that the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law, providing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
Mayor, we're reviewing some of the fees. This is specifically on the police department. This is a fee for vehicles being inspected, but we're going to request to table this item since we're going to do a full-blown review of the fees specifically on that department, and we'll bring it back.
Okay.
We
We have a motion to table by Councilman Diaz, second by Councilman Garcia. Discussion, all in favor, unanimous. Item tabled. 11, consideration and possible approval of an ordinance amending Article 2, Chapter 2, Administration, Section 2-30P, to add telecommunicators to mental health leave, and Section 2-33A by adding new subsection 7 to update the computer and city communication systems of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Eagle Pass, finding that the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law, providing a severability clause and establishing an effective date. Ms. Campos?
Yes, hi, good evening, Mayor and Council. So these two items are brought before you because of change in legislation. So there were updates that were made there, and so now we're trying to update our personnel policies based on that. As you probably recall, on Section 230 for benefits and leave, for mental health leave, we added that for police officers, and you extended it also to the firefighters. So the new law adds in telecommunicators. So we left the policy as is for the mental health leave, just adding in the telecommunicators for that. So everything else stayed the same. We're just adding telecommunicators to be eligible for the mental health leave.
Do we have a motion to,
There's a second part.
okay?
And so that's Section 230. We have also included for Section 233, use of city equipment and facilities. Under our computer and city communication systems, for unauthorized uses, the city's computers and networks shall not be used to. We're adding number 7, which is install or use TikTok or any successor application or any other social media application specified by the Department of Information Resources and Department of Public Safety on any city-owned or leased electronic device, including computers and cell phones or city network. Exceptions do apply for law enforcement and use of an authorized investigation or information security purposes. So that, again, is based on legislation. As of right now, it's just the application on TikTok that's affected.
Right.
To be clear.
I'll make a motion to approve.
You know what, I have a question, sorry.
Let me just put it on the record. We have a motion to approve by Councilman Diaz. Do we have a second? A second by Councilman Garcia. Now discussion.
It says you're asking about the social media, I mean, I know it's for the use of, because it only stipulates for law enforcement, but what about for your marketing departments and stuff, because you do have social media platforms, is that not one?
It's not allowed, TikTok is not allowed.
TikTok.
Just
Yeah.
TikTok.
Well, it says you said or successor applications or social media.
So what it's referring to is, say TikTok suddenly changes its name, or there's a successor app, like, it's specifically identifying that. So, and that's why it says specified by the Department of Information Resources and Department of Public Safety. In the case that they later in the future include another app that maybe is created that we currently don't have.
Yeah, that's important.
But right now, as of right now, it's just the TikTok application that's affected.
But this is gonna apply citywide, not only to
Citywide.
police department, right?
What's
Not only to
everyone
law
except
enforcement,
for-
this is a citywide policy.
No, this is for everybody, but
Yes.
the exceptions, right, the exception is
It doesn't
only
apply to them for
in use
investigation.
of authorized investigations
Yes.
or for information security purposes.
Right.
So going back to the question on marketing, is there a reason why we make that distinction? No on TikTok and
That's,
yes on
that
the
was
other
just passed through
platforms?
legislation, so I don't know the
Because
whole
of the-
background
To
of
the
why.
Texas legislation?
But
Yes.
yes, Texas, and I do hear that it's kind of spreading, specifically for that app.
Yeah.
I do hear that it's kind of spreading into different states as well.
Something that has ties to the Chinese.
Yeah, there's some
I don't wanna-
speculation on that.
So, yeah.
But yes, we're just kind of following what they passed.
We do have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, if we could take a vote, all in favor? Unanimous. Thank you. Number 12, consideration and possible approval of a resolution of the City Council of the City of Eagle Pass, Texas, supporting Southwest Area Regional Transit Districts, SWART's, creation of a combined urban-rural transit district in accordance with Chapter 458 of the Texas Transportation Code, confirming the city's participation in the new combined urban-rural transit district for fiscal years 2024 through 2028. Authorizing the mayor to execute any documents required to evidence the city's support of SWART's creation of a combined urban-rural transit district and the city's participation in such district, and providing for an effective date.
Mayor, Council, with the approval of the 2020 census, the city of Eagle Pass and Maverick County is not considered a small urban area. So this is gonna affect SWART. So right now, they're in a transition from a rural system to a small urban area. So the resolution is basically in support of SWART and to continue to receive funding during this transition.
Right. We need a motion.
Yes.
We have a motion to approve by Councilwoman Cruz, second by Councilman Garcia. Discussion, all in favor? Unanimous. 13, thank you, Ivan.
Yes, sir.
Consideration and possible approval of a resolution of the City Council of the City of Eagle Pass, Texas, appointing a member to the Main Street Advisory Board.
Yes, Mayor and Council, we do have a recommendation by Councilperson Place 4. We have Brenda Bereles.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
She is the one who's being
great.
recommended.
Do we have a motion to approve Ms. Brenda Vereles to this board?
So
Motion
moved.
by Councilwoman
Yes.
Cruz, second. Councilman Garcia, all in favor? Unanimous.
Thank you.
Good selection. 14, consideration and possible approval of a resolution of the City Council of the City of Eagle Pass, Texas, supporting designation of the Eagle Pass Metropolitan Planning Organization.
Mayor, Council, again, this is something related to the SWART item that we just discussed with the city and county now having a population of over 50,000. This, we qualify to be a metropolitan planning organization. So this is one of the items that needs to be submitted to the state, as well as the bylaws and the map of service.
Absolutely. This is something positive, so do we have a motion
So
to,
moved.
we have a motion
I'll
to approve by
second.
Mayor Pro Tem Davis, a second by Councilwoman Cruz, all in favor? Unanimous, thank you. 15, consideration and possible action on the final plat of Hopedale Estate Subdivision, Unit 4.
I will excuse myself since I'm both.
For the record, Councilwoman Cruz has excused herself. Recuse. Excuse and recuse.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
So what you have before you is a final plat application for Hopedale Estate Subdivision Unit 4. Applicant is Dirksen Engineering. The developer being Hopedale Estates LTD, located at the end of Bayou Street and east of Hopedale Road. The request is for, again, for final plat approval for the subdivision of a 6.60 acre tract into 32 residential lots. So, the applicant for the engineer record, they have complied with, the infrastructure. It's been approved by both, city and county. As you can see, we have the photos here. Again, all the infrastructure has been accepted.
You said by both the
Both
city and
city and the county. They do have the 30-year agreements by Waterworks for water and sewer. We have a Zoom plot of sheet number 1 of the plot. Here you have the second sheet. And so our recommendation, or the recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Commission is for City Council to grant final plat approval of Hopedale Estate subdivision unit 4, subject to the plat complying to provisions of Article 3 of the City of Eagle Pass Code of Ordinances, Chapter 23, governing procedures and specifications for final plats. Are there any questions?
I'll entertain a motion.
So I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve by Mayor Pro Tem Davis, second by Councilman Garcia. Discussion? All in favor? Unanimous.
Thank you.
One abstention. Thank you. Executive session. We're going into item 16, executive session pursuant to section 551.087, chapter 551, Texas Government Code. Presentation and deliberation regarding economic development negotiations under the revolving loan fund program with D. Body DJ LLC, and possible action in open session regarding same. 17, executive session pursuant to section 551.071, chapter 551, Texas Government Code, consultation with legal counsel regarding contract negotiations for the solar eclipse events, and possible action in open session regarding same. And for the record, we're going into executive session at 6:11 p.m.
You already know me.
Okay. We're coming back from executive session. 16, executive session pursuant to section 551.087, chapter 551, Texas Government Code. Presentation and deliberation regarding economic development negotiations under the revolving loan fund program with Deep Body DJ LLC, and possible action in open session regarding same. Do we
I
have
make a motion to approve?
We have a motion to approve by Councilwoman Cruz, second by Mayor Pro Tem Davis. Discussion, all in favor? Unanimous. 17, executive session. Pursuant to section 551.071, chapter 551, Texas Government Code, consultation with legal counsel regarding contract negotiations for the solar eclipse events, and possible action in open session regarding same.
Make a motion to move forward as director?
Was it order?
Do we need a motion or just
I
information?
thought we were gonna take.
It's just information item, but we'll come back next month.
We'll
with
come
more
back.
information.
Next
So no
month
action.
with more concrete information and
So
Final
no
action.
action. Disregard.
all right, thank you. Did we get a motion to adjourn?
So-
I'll make a motion.
Everybody? Okay, we have a motion by everyone, by Councilwoman Cruz and a second by Mayor Pro Tem.
Okay, I second that.
Okay,
That's
all
fine.
in favor, unanimous. Meeting adjourned 7:32 PM.
Thank you all.